Don't care. You don't care. Let's go ahead and do this thing. It was funny the first time.
It was funny the first time.
The Lion King.
Why is this a Why is this a thing? I don't understand.
Oh, you are alive forever. Hello?
This is a Something About Something show with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Poe. Man, this is going good tonight. This is
so
awesome.
bad.
I love it.
Gosh.
Todd says, yes,
Talking in tongues in church.
Yes, Todd, I went Pentecostal for us tonight. Oh, my goodness.
My goodness.
Man.
So,
that wore me
epic
out.
fail on my part. I accidentally failed to go live on the actual page that our show is based on, and managed to only go live into our group. So I apologize up front. Definitely
man.
my fault.
Thank you for everybody returning, and
yes.
that's awesome.
And then whatever Mike was doing, I'm not apologizing for that. That's all on him. That's all on you, man.
That's kind of hurtful, but okay.
I don't know what that was. What are you playing with over there?
I have it in my my Mackie Pro instead of my Solo. So anyway, epic fail of the week goes to Mr. Ricky Poe. Man, okay. Freaking kids. Anyhow, man. So anyhow. Well, tonight, folks, this is basically what happens when neither me or Ricky are prepared for anything. You think that's almost every Wednesday night, but this one in particular, we couldn't make up at the last minute what we're going to do, so we thought, let's go old school. So this is something about nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
Something about nothing. Yes.
And this is back in the days we used to ramble. You're thinking, what's different now? Well, back in the day, we really rambled. So tonight we're going to just talk about things that what's going on in entertainment, several other things. If you have anything you want to talk
interested in,
yes, anything you have, anything you want to comment tonight, things that you want to talk about, stuff that's coming up, things that you've seen. Just let us know. And there's a delay right now with Facebook and comments and stuff, so just bear with us. Plus, we have the podcast wife. She's here tonight. And I lost Mr. Ricky Poe. So basically what happened, we lost her. Hey, Ricky, you're back.
I'm back.
That is awesome.
I'm having all sorts of
things are going really well tonight.
Horrible things.
Okay, so we are going to, we have a lot of things we're going to talk about tonight. Well, a lot of nothing we're going to talk about tonight. And I didn't know what we wanted to do first, since we already just crap-tastic it, just had a great.
Yes.
But you know what? We're going to make up for it, I hope. And I think what we'll do first, why don't we do
Jason wants to know if we saw Godzilla versus King Kong.
We did not. I did not. Here, I'm going to do this for my wife here. Todd is chanting Tiffany's name. That is the podcast wife. And we're giving her kudos because she's the only sane one in the group. So
yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So yes. I wanted to put that out there because she would not put that out there. I know that.
Hey, Vance. Yes, we're all good now.
Yes, now we see your name and we feel like family. So that's awesome.
And I actually do know why we didn't see your name earlier. It has to do with
Yeah.
the way I sipped the stream earlier, and that was a big fail.
Yes, that was part of the whole thing, you know. Let's see here. I ended up just watching the last video again, thinking it was working. Oh, I was reading something from Vance first, all suddenly. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know what you want to do first. You want to do some stupid news and just kind of
Let's
roll
do
from there?
stupid news.
Let's just,
Yeah, that's our one organized thing, and that's the
Well-
one thing people actually want to hear.
well, let's go. Let's do a little bit of that.
Okay, I think we could do that as
Let's
soon as I
do
get
it.
to the video so I can click it. It's the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Man, oh man, there's a lot going on today. This week, actually this month, 2021 is not disappointing with stupid news.
No,
A lot of stuff is going on. One in particular, and interesting that this happens to be a Florida man. He's very proud. He's very proud of his heritage or his state.
Okay.
Gentleman right here. Yes, look at that. He loves Florida. That's right.
Is that
Yeah.
is that a birthmark or is that a actual tattoo?
That's a tattoo of Florida itself. I'm hoping that Todd V will also do one of those too. But yes, some people like where they come from a bit too much, and apparently this Matthew Leatham, 22, is also the same way. Florida man with a Florida tattoo on his forehead. Yes, he's one of them, my friends. This man was arrested for calling 911 twice to try to get a ride home, according to the New York Post. Yes. The complaint says Pasco County Department found Latham he couldn't find a taxi, and he offered to call them a taxi. The police did, but he said he didn't have any money. So guess what he did again? He called 911, and then he called 911 again. Eventually,
my
police
goodness.
got tired, and they did went to pick him up, but not to take him to his home. Yes, Latham was charged with the misuse of the 911 system, and guess what? He was possession of marijuana as well. He was released
Imagine
on
that.
That's right. Isn't that something? This next one, this is something that the podcast wife is going to hear. But anyway, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to do this anyhow. You know me, nothing like fast food. Yum yum, give me some.
Absolutely.
And of course, when you have a wonderful wife like mine who tries to keep things healthy and, keep us, fit in the sense of not expanding any more than I am. But in this story, apparently, a wife is really mad after finding her husband selling healthy lunch that she packed every day to buy fast food. Yes, a shocked woman. Yes. This woman was shocked to know that her husband was selling off healthy lunches she was preparing for him daily, buying fast foods from the office canteen instead.
This sounds like something a 12-year-old boy would do.
Yes.
Selling his yogurt
Yeah.
and his sandwich so he can get French fries from the cafeteria.
Yeah, and it's funny how he got busted. He said the couple were planning to buy a flat together and were working on a tight budget to save as much money as they could to fulfill their common dream. Earlier, the husband mostly purchased fast food for lunch. So while planning to purchase their dream home, his wife calculated that fast food lunches cost them more a month. And so basically, they mutually decided that it's better for them to start, lunches at home, and also healthier options.
I can appreciate that. I've done that in the past.
I can too. So things are sailing smoothly until they're.
I like Vance's comment here. His cough comment. I kind of used to do that in high school.
Oh yes,
Way to go, Vance. You're the man.
he is the man. So everything was going smooth until until whenever the woman. Oh, that's right. Whenever the woman texted her husband asking him if he liked the sandwich she made, he wouldn't reply. Basically, it was a silent text. Instead, he would asked her to make more than 2 sandwiches to satisfy his appetite. The woman's
Because he wasn't getting enough money to pay for it.
so yes. Oh yes. The woman soon discovered the complete truth when her husband colleague visited the couple. Yes, we sat at the dinner table, and his friend brought up the sandwiches. This is the wife that I made for my husband, and how delicious they are, and thanked him that he thanked him, but he said the price was a bit too much. The revelation.
His work colleague sold him out at the dinner table.
Exactly.
That is just desserts.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
revelation. Yeah, the revelation left her stunned, although her husband denied it. After the colleague left, she argued with her husband, but he said that there was nothing wrong in what he did. He was technically spending the savings on fast food. The woman finally told her husband that she won't make any more lunches for him, and instead of apologizing for his mistake, he argued that her anger wasn't acceptable. I guarantee you I would not eat for a month. Yes. Don't do it.
Oh, goodness.
And on the final one, and this is Oklahoma City, so let's not harp on the Florida man. Let's do
Oklahoma City, right? That's right here in our doorstep.
Apparently, a stolen Doritos truck chase happened on Oklahoma City.
I know about this story.
That's
That's brilliant.
Brilliant, yes. So,
Stole a Dorito. Well, I'm just thinking, I want to steal a Doritos truck. My first thought is, that's a little conspicuous.
yes, I know.
think they're going to know.
Yeah, it's not like you're driving a Honda on the road. You have a huge billboard driving on the highway. I mean,
They chased him for 90 miles.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
90 miles in a Doritos truck.
where was Eric Estrada?
I don't know.
He's a chip. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Man.
Denied.
Yes.
Dude, that's Nacho Van.
That Nacho Man. That's right. Yeah. He said Carp didn't go down. He didn't go down easy. Basically, the police chased him through 3 counties, like you said, 90 minutes before shooting the tires out to arrest him.
From Oklahoma City to Enid, as I recall.
Yeah, the police captain said, I would love to know the motivation of stealing a truck that's very, very easy to spot and doesn't go very fast. What do you think you're going to do with a truck like that?
Hey, Kathy. Yeah, at least
man.
it wasn't the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yeah, Joshua Carp was the man's name. And, I guess Joshua was in just a crunch.
Oh.
Denied.
Yes. Okay. Now
He had the
that's
munchies.
That's it. That is stupid news, and that's all I have.
This has been the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Shelley.
A Dorito truck.
Uh,
What goes through your mind thinking what he's going to do with the Dorito truck? I mean, unless he has the munchies. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know. Are you gonna, sell the Doritos on the black Dorito market? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know that. Man, there's. Oh, since tonight is very random. Okay, I gotta hit you up first. Did you see Falcon and Winter Soldier last Friday?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yes.
That was amazing. And one thing I noticed, and me and Tiffany was watching, that it seemed longer than normal. And I don't know whether, I know it's actually longer, but I felt like, how like Mandalorian, I felt like, you watch, you're done. But
yeah.
I have to
Every
say
episode's right at, I've actually checked, every episode's right around the 50-minute mark. So
Yeah.
I don't know that it was that much longer, but a lot happened.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to talk about it. I don't know who's seen it, haven't seen it, but
Spoiler alert, just in case.
just in case. But let's just say John Walker shows his true colors.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I've had this conversation multiple times on multiple Facebook groups. And everybody's like, "Oh, I hate John Walker. He's horrible." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's exactly what Marvel wants you to do.
Exactly.
Marvel wants you to hate John Walker and love Baron Zemo."
Everybody on the comment section, let us know if you've seen Last Friday or not. I'm curious if you've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier from last Friday. Just give us some information in the comments. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but man, that was a great episode. And comment your thoughts on the episode. I think it was very interesting, and as much as I want to talk about it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But yeah, this was really good. For me, it was like it's the turning point, and it makes me wonder what is going to happen next. I mean, up to this point, you know, hasn't been a real cliffhanger to me, but this one definitely. Things are going to be something's going to come out. Let's see here.
Looks like Todd has, Jason hasn't.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Jason unsubscribed. Ooh.
Let's go to that real quick.
Todd.
Todd.
Who knew
Todd.
Zemo could dance? I loved the little Zemo dance thing.
Yeah,
There it
go.
was. Where throw it up there again.
Sorry about that. But this was a YouTube video that was done by Marvel themselves.
An
And they
hour of Baron Zemo dancing.
Yeah, and it just goes like this, and goes like this, and then goes like this, and then
It's
like
like-
this.
It's like a 1-minute clip of all the shots of him dancing
Yeah, I know.
cut together and repeated 60 times. It's just like, really?
Well, that scene when I saw it, I thought it kind of seems out of character for the Baron, but I love what Marvel did on YouTube. I mean, they just had fun with it. So
Yeah, they just went with it.
yeah.
Vance says, "I can say I don't mind, but it is a series that sounds like I should start up." Vance, it's definitely, if you've got Disney Plus, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely worth watching. It is a whole different show. If you liked Captain America Civil War. No, not Civil War. Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
If you liked Winter Soldier, that particular show, that particular movie, you will really like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's much more like that. It's that it's more of a gritty adventure action movie, military kind of action movie thing going on. It's less of a superhero movie and more of a action movie, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. I really, for me, it's like a buddy cop superhero show. You know, the
bit.
two actors has done an awesome job.
It's like
And-
Odd Couple buddy cop movie.
Definitely. I'm actually checking my settings here, making sure that I do not. Okay, good. I was getting a little static in the background. Wanted to make sure it wasn't me. Anybody hears any audio static, let me know. But yeah, one thing I loved about it was, we talked about this before, that these two actors who were in the movie,
This Todd's comment, DC's arm fall off boy made an appearance as Bucky.
that is hilarious.
That is brilliant. That
is brilliant.
actually is okay. So this is definitely, let's talk about it because it's
Let's
definitely a
explain it, yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah, let's do it.
There is a scene where someone from Wakanda shows up and she does this quick little weird maneuver on Bucky and his arm just drops to the floor.
Oh, it's amazing.
And Sam's comment is, "Did you know they could do that?" And Bucky has this look on his face like, "No." It's brilliant. Hey, Jason Dupree.
Hello, Jason.
Anyone else think that Sharon Carter is the power broker on Manipur?
That's a thought.
Mad Report. Lots of people think
A lot
that.
of people think there's a lot of rumors about that. Whether that's the case or not, I do not know.
Yep.
But yeah,
Two big rumors I have heard is she is the power broker. She is working for the power broker. She is working for some government agency undercover for the power broker.
Yeah.
You know, she's undercover, you know, really a government agent, but the power broker doesn't know she's serving as a government agent.
yeah.
So we shall see. We only got 2 more episodes of that. So
Really, I forgot. We only
Yeah.
have 2 more episodes.
yes,
Man.
it's only 6 episode series, 50 minutes apiece.
Oh man.
I think we talked about this once. The WandaVision show was 8 episodes, right? 8 or 9? 8 or 9? 9, maybe 9.
I don't know.
But they were all like 30-minute episodes or less. And then like the last 2 episodes were a little bit longer. The idea is that Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if you just put all the episodes back to back to back, the run times are going to be very similar. So we've got 6 longer episodes instead of 8 or 9 shorter episodes.
So basically, if you put them all together, it's about the same hours.
You're going to get
minutes
about
So
you're going to get about 5 hours of watch time if you watch the whole series of either one. So very bingeable if you want to wait till the end.
Yeah, you know, Sam Wilson and Bucky and the actors do a wonderful job, but they know how to riff from each other, and like you said, it's like an odd couple.
Yes.
And they still refuse to call themselves partners, which I
They're
think is
not a
really
team.
funny.
They're not a team. They're not partners.
Even though that's what they're doing. And
coworkers.
so I love the whole thing, and like I said, I don't want to ruin anything, but let's just say watch it. Vance, watch it. Just
Yeah.
I mean, if you can binge through it, Vance, go ahead and do it. You'll love it. So far, this has actually been my favorite Marvel TV
Absolutely.
series because
well, I mean, we've only had 2, but
well, I'll probably say that when Loki comes out. Oh, I just
Probably.
mentioned another one, Loki.
oh yeah. Want to talk about Loki for a minute?
Let's talk about my friend Loki.
So we definitely know more about Loki's storyline than I thought we would at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably we know more about Loki's storyline than we know about any of the other shows by this time. It's very, very clear that the Loki storyline is the time variance authority, basically the Marvel time cops, are going to have taken Loki and are going to make him go back in time a la Quantum Leap and fix what he broke.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. Well, and also too, you think about it. I mean, it goes back to the Tesseract, and it goes back to, him going back to, let's see, I think it was back in the 2012's Avengers.
Yeah.
And,
so first Avengers.
Yeah.
This is the Loki from the first Avengers. This is not the Loki that has died multiple times.
Yeah.
And survived. This is not the Loki that kind of became a hero later on.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the Loki who died at the hand of Thanos or that helped Thor, defeat Hela. This is the original ornery, angry, in a muzzle and handcuffs Loki from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, I think here's a picture I saw on there. I thought it was kind of funny. They have him muzzled and tied up. Yeah, I think it's interesting because as far as we know in this, it's all about Loki trying to fix the damage that he's done by going through the timeline. And what's I think is interesting, because there's a lot of actors in this that I was really surprised is going to be in it. One was Owen Wilson, who I'm thinking he's probably he's probably an agent with what's the name of the group again? I think
it's the Time Variance Authority, TVA.
That's right. TVA.
Well, okay, they call it TVA in the show, in the trailer.
Yeah.
By the way, all this stuff is widely available if you watch the trailer and you do just a little bit of research.
Yeah.
So Owen Wilson specifically states that he is part of the TVA, and in the Marvel Comics universe, that is the Time Variance Authority.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he is playing a character called Mobius M. Mobius.
Mobius M. Mobius.
Yes. About as lame a name as you can get, but that's who he is. But you were talking about there's a lot of people. There are 4 major actors and actresses that are going to be in all 6 episodes, but don't have named characters yet.
Really?
Yeah. So we've got Sophia Martino. We've got Richard Grant. We've got Gugu. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. And another guy that another person I can't pronounce her name. But they're going to definitely be in all 6 episodes. So they've got to be important characters.
Yeah, exactly.
But no character names.
Really?
And that's all info that's on IMDb.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's coming, I think it comes out in June the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. And it's interesting that the only person that we really know who's playing in it is Owen Wilson. So that's interesting to me.
Yeah. We know Loki's in it. When we know Owen Wilson is going to be Mobius.
There was one thing that I thought was really funny, and I wonder if this is part of the happens in the timeline, because I'm kind of wondering if there's a period where he's having fun in different timelines and then suddenly he gets caught. Now, this is just totally me coming up with this theory, but he gets caught by I call them the time police. And he said, okay, dudes, you like, for one, I thought was really, did I get that one? But no, there was one where he actually, I don't have it on here, but he was running for president. It looked like he was running for some kind of office. And he had a button on, vote for me, and he had some people behind him, and I thought, well, this is interesting. Vote Loki, a parody of that year's election battle, and he saw that, So anyway, I thought it was interesting. And
one of the other trailers, and I think I may have mentioned this on the show before, DB Cooper. It looks like Loki is pretending to be DB Cooper, who is a bank robber that boards a plane, and he jumps out of the plane with a suitcase of money.
Really? Yeah.
And it looks like that's what they're playing up, that he is basically who DB Cooper is. Because in that trailer, he jumps out of the airplane and goes, I hope he gets this right. And as soon as he jumps out the airplane, he gets sucked up by what looks like the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh,
so
from
Thor.
Yeah.
So, but maybe that's the time. Maybe that's the Time Variance Authority swooping him up. We're not sure exactly, but it sure looks like he's supposed to be DB Cooper. So the fact that he might be president, or running for president, that fits in right there along with it. I have the same question you have. Are these things the things we see him do first to break time, to get captured, and now he has to go fix them? Or are these the things he has to do to go fix the things he broke?
Exactly.
And I don't know the answer to that. Which do you think it'll be?
I have a feeling you get to see Loki have some fun, and then all suddenly, he gets pulled over by the time police. That's my thought. I mean, actually, and
in
that's
his Dorito truck.
Yeah, Dorito truck over the Rainbow Bridge. And so,
Exactly.
yeah. And the time police, they shoot his tire and they arrest him. But I think that I think it would be funny to see Loki get into some mischief, which he's the god of mischief.
Yep.
And I really do think we get to see some of that, him being able to play these different timelines. And I think maybe because he did those things, it's why they caught him in the first place, went after him in the first place, and
Yep.
you gotta clean this mess up, man. Clean it up.
Yep.
So
I saw one article described the storyline as Loki as Forrest Gump.
well, I can see that going through different parts of history
Yeah,
because he can transform to anything he wants to. So
exactly. And Vance says, and here I was thinking he'd crash into the Flash because they're both fixing.
that's DC and
Nice.
Marvel hitting together. Yeah,
Let's get a crossover. I don't think that's happening.
yeah, I don't think so. We're having a hard enough time in Sony and Marvel to play well with each other. So
Hey, speaking of Sony, this is random. Did you know that Sony is in the works of a live action Robotech movie?
no, I have not. I
No,
love
yes.
Robotech.
I love Robotech. Robotech was a big part of my my junior high and early high school years, and absolutely love it. One of the best early, ports over from Japan ever, I think. It gets lots and lots of hate all the time, but I still love it.
I love it.
But Sony is in development on a live action Robotech movie of some sort.
Really?
And they are, and some other news, on Robotech, there has been a big legal dispute. And it's part of the reason we haven't seen much in the last, I don't know, 20 years on Robotech.
Yeah.
Is that Big West Studios, Studio New, and Harmony Gold have finally come to an agreement.
Yeah.
I'm actually in a Facebook group called Robotech Fans Against Harmony Gold.
So you're a real fan, actually.
Yes. Yes, I'm in a group.
You're a real fan.
There's like 10 or 15,000 people in this group that hate Harmony Gold because of the limitations that they feel like have been placed on Macross and the Robotech series because of what Harmony Gold has done. Some of it definitely is Harmony Gold's fault. Some of it is the fact that there was a lot of disputes as to who really had the rights. But But this
for me,
week they finally came down and they have some.
That's good.
We have some clarity, and we might see some more stuff in the future.
Well, Robotech, for me, back in the '80s, for me, you had GI Joe. Didn't have, things blew up. People were fine. Parachutes. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
but was
everybody parachuted to safety.
Exactly.
Did you watch Battle of the Planets?
Yes, I did.
G-Force.
Yes.
Okay, so that's another one. G-Force, or I can't remember what it was called in Japan, but in Japan, people definitely died. Okay,
Yeah.
No questions asked. People died. When they ported it over to America, Star Wars had recently come out. They decided they needed a robot in the show, so they added Zark 7, Zark 7, this weird robot that never actually saw the team. Well, because he didn't exist in the original show.
Yeah.
And he would always say something about everyone safely escaped the city before this. Or, that
was my deal.
We got all the civilians out before you did whatever horrible thing you just did.
That was my first introduction to serious anime. Because for me it was like, I saw, Speed Racer, which was, semi, and then you had Voltron, which I loved Voltron as a kid.
Yep.
So you
also had
some of
Star
that.
Blazers.
I loved Star Blazers.
Yeah,
but
that one doesn't hold up well.
No, it doesn't. But Robotech, for me, Robotech was, I never thought, this was the first animation series where you lose somebody that you loved. I mean,
Yes.
characters. I mean, you had this triangle, this love triangle, and all of this. And I mean, back in the '80s, I probably was like, I don't know, 10 or something like that. Or and it's like I've never seen anything like this before in my life. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I watched it like every day.
You see lead characters that you have followed for, for 30 or 40 episodes.
Yeah,
Literally laying on the floor with bullet holes.
yeah, exactly.
And the love of his life
Yeah.
finding out and having to deal with it. And
Yeah.
then having serious discussions about it later on.
Yeah, exactly. And and you think to yourself, and as a kid, I just, it was so different. I was drawn to it, and for me that was the beginning. And I call it mature anime because it actually dealt with real issues.
Yes.
Adult issues. You had people did die in combat. They didn't jump out of a parachute and say, "Yo, Joe." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah.
I remember one specific episode. If you guys are not into Robotechs, Mike and I are going to nerd out for a bit. But Rick Hunter having to write a letter to the parents of one of his teammates,
Yeah.
having to write the letter that says, I am sorry to inform you, but your son, blah, 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 was lost in combat during, and the struggle he has trying to write this letter. And I'm like, these are like life things.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not your little GI Joes and, everybody parachutes to safety anymore.
Oh, it's totally different. Totally different. Yeah. So I'm excited, and I'm curious how well they'll do that. Who was it? Let's see. Podcast wife. I think Vance made a comment about Pacific Rim. Do you see that on there by any chance? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Vance was saying, or I must be thinking of something else. But is it is it that why we ended up with Pacific
Okay,
Rim?
so Pacific Rim. That's actually interesting. You said that. There is a company called Legendary.
Yeah.
That is working with Sunrise Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary is the company that did that movie that you just mentioned, Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And they are working on a Gundam live action.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Now, I don't think that's Sony related, but that is Legendary Entertainment. And Legendary Entertainment's a big movie company.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, obviously they did Pacific Rim.
Exactly,
So over the next 4 or 5 years, we might see multiple different giant robot, armor, people in giant robot armor TV or movies.
Now, one of our viewers, our regular viewers, Jason Hamilton, I know he's a big Robotech fan. Yes, thank you. Jason Hamilton, fun fact, as serious as Robotech is, the original Macross dialogue somehow managed to be even more serious.
Yes. Well, Japan has never had the taboos on children's television
exactly.
that we had in the US.
Yeah, I think me and Jason was talking about one time about the translation, and sometimes translating from Japanese or even, different Asian cultures, that will, dub movies and like that in English, you lose a lot in translation. And so sometimes you're better off to just let it be the original tongue and read the subtitles and to get that feel.
So speaking of that, going back to we said something about Star Blazers.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. This is one of those goofy things.
Yeah.
We have to change it because of the censors in the US. So the doctor in the Star Blazers TV show, he always had a bottle that he was drinking from almost in every scene.
Yeah.
And in the cartoon in America, it was sparkling water. But in Japanese, it was definitely sake. And it's
Sake,
not
yeah.
and he was always drunk.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
By the way, if you're interested in Star Blazers, there was a remake actually that's really really good. It was a remake, Star Blazers 2099, I think is what it's called. It's more updated anime style. You know, people are dying.
Yeah.
You know, he is drinking sake. But it sticks
sake,
pretty
there you go.
close to the storyline originally. The more you know, the more depressed you get. Nice, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, as a side note, I think probably in the next couple of years, we're going to see more of those mecha armor movies, which gives me hope that somebody will take the time and actually make a really good remake, a really good version of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I know.
Which, because part of the thing about Starship Troopers is they are mobile infantry,
Yeah.
and basically it's guys in these huge suits.
Yeah.
They're not 40 feet tall, you know, robot suits, but they are like, you know, 10 or 12 foot tall, you know, armored people. So
Yeah,
you know,
not like the original one they did. Not the
no, that one's horrible.
That was horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Especially when the suits are like supposed to, that half the book is talking about dealing with the suits and how you deal with all of it, and you know, you just completely leave that out of the whole movie. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I
I
don't
know.
need to see everybody's faces.
No. Man, we gotta have. I didn't realize how much we geeked out on Japanese anime. So that might be a good episode that we do.
Maybe
because-
we should just do one.
Yeah, we should do that. And
I just am not up on the new stuff.
I'm not either. Most of the stuff is, you know, back in the 80s, maybe the 90s. I didn't see the remake of Star Blazers. I'd like to see that one.
It's pretty good.
$20.99. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard to find. Where did I find it? Funimation, I think, has access to it. So check out, look up Funimation. Anyway, you look it up, you'll find it.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I saw it, but it actually is one. You know, you don't have to go to blah, 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 .com to download it or anything like that. You actually can find it and watch
There's
it.
a recommendation. Thank you. Man, my wife, she's on it today.
Vance has been binge watching a lot of anime, more catching up, so love how you guys went there. Well,
Awesome.
Vance, let us know what you're watching. Maybe we should check it out.
Yeah.
Funimation. Thank you, Todd.
Todd V, the man.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it had a D in it or not.
Hey, Vance, where are you catching up on your? Where are you streaming some of your anime? Because I know there's some different. I know Crunchyroll is one that they do some of that.
Yeah.
But just some recommendations of where, if online, someone could watch some anime. I'm interested.
Yeah,
So-
there was some place that I ran into recently that had a lot of anime. I found it on my when
Yeah.
I was perusing things on my Roku.
Here we go. Vance says the list is basically everything on Netflix, Hulu, and HBO Max. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Oh, and
Todd watches on Hulu. Cool.
Did-
I'll have to check out anime on Hulu because I've got that and HBO Max. I think
Todd-
Funimation is a
Yeah.
streaming. I think Funimation has a streaming service you can pay for that doesn't have ads.
Well, that'd be good. Like, Vance says I need to get Funimation because I liked dubbed. Crunchyroll is more current, but subpar. I guess he means subpar.
No, he probably means subtitled.
Oh, subscription.
See,
Subtitled. Okay.
yeah, probably means subtitled versus dubbed.
Okay.
I am definitely. I hate reading TV shows.
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
I can't. I can watch something or I can read it, but I can't do both.
Can't do both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm too slow a reader, to be able to have to read everything that's going on. And then I'm like, oh wait, Paul, what happened?
Yeah. That's funny because we have to do it all the time because we watch Falcon and Winter Soldier just because how they broadcast the audio. Sometimes it's like, okay, I can't hear, then a big boom, and then the music.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll have. I mean, we're not
do
always
that
looking at it, but yeah.
I do that by watching it once, and then I go back and watch it again with the subtitles on.
Oh yeah.
So I watch it twice. I watch it once and I read it once.
Todd was mentioning this the other night to me. Todd V. He says, I'm watching Warlord right now. I want to check that out. I think that is on Hulu. Correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, but I think it's Hulu where he was watching that at. So
yeah, Vance was talking about dubbed versus subbed. A lot of anime guys hate dubs.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think dub is okay. It really, I don't mind it, as long as the actors are good. Hey, Rob Moore, how you doing, my friend?
He says, I'm with Ricky. I can't read and watch at the same time either. Must be dubbed. Hey,
yeah,
Rob, you're be glad you're late. We screwed up. We had to restart the show.
And yes. Oh, can you put up Todd's comment on the end there? Todd says, if you want to watch The Warlord, it's on Hulu. He says, but expires in 10 days. So now is that
Warlord's going away in 10 days?
Is that
or his Hulu free trial is going away in 10 days?
No, I think it's the movie itself. But Todd, correct me. Is it HBO Max or are we talking about Hulu? Because I'm confused on that. I know we talked about that the other night. I know HBO Max a lot of time will give you this certain amount of time. Usually Hulu is really good about it, but but I think I know HBO Max, they give you the kind of like what Netflix does. Here's the amount of time you can watch it before we take it out, and we put some Hulu. Okay. Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I'm gonna check that out. 10 days. You want to check it out? You have 10 days until it expires. That's something I need to watch. So.
Well, what else do we have? Oh, hey, let's talk about the Batman thing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It's finally out of production. Finally done with production. So pretty awesome. This one right here, I guess. Basically, I was reading an article that apparently. Matt Reeves' version of Batman is supposed to be I guess they're calling it Earth 2, which I think is interesting. For some reason I didn't even think they were going to title it something like that, but I guess it's off of Earth 2, and so
that puts us in a different MCU, right?
Exactly. That's a different DC,
different DC universe.
Yeah,
because the Batfleck, is that supposed to be Earth 1?
From my understanding, I mean, I assume that. Okay, I assume it's Earth 1, and so
I have never quite followed all of that. I mean, I knew that DC had this series, the different Earths.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I never felt like they made that super clear.
No,
Marvel has been very, very upfront. The MCU is definitely Earth 1999, a bunch of nines.
Yeah. Well,
and then the Marvel Comics main continuity is 616.
Yeah, CW, they really take advantage of the different Earth 1, Earth 2, or 3. Because they do, especially in the Flash.
We should do a show about that.
Yeah, it would be good. Yeah,
we should do a DC. We should do a DC Universes show. The different, because maybe I would learn something.
Yeah. Well, no, and it makes me want to subscribe to the digital DC. It's like, okay, I want to do DC digital or I want to do Marvel digital. So little time. But yeah, I would love that too. But yeah, and HBO Max, they have a ton of DC stuff. They have some DC, actually some Batman considered anime, or at least anime in the I guess in the drawing, as you would say. I don't think they do drawing anymore, but the way it presents itself. So Vance says, yeah, HBO Max has the DC channel, so that we'll check that out. So, by the way, I'm changing my name to Parasite on your subscription. So that's all I'm saying. I was gonna do that, and then one day you come up and say, Parasite.
My hair
That's nice.
has gotten entirely too long.
Look at that.
Yeah, I
You
definitely
kinda
can do the
You almost have
90s,
like
the 80s skater do now.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing that.
Oh,
Now
Todd
I've
said,
got my hair screwed up.
Todd
I
V
can't fix
said
it.
Marvel just launched a digital comic book series on the Eternals. I read about that. Wait, look
I've
at you,
thoroughly
dude. What are
screwed
you,
up my hair.
what are you doing?
Can't fix it. I'm trying to
Oh.
look at my screen and fix it, but it's
Yeah?
not mirrored,
Hey,
so
yeah.
I'm doing it the wrong direction.
Yeah, I do that too. I go, oh. Oh, what did Vance say down there, babe? Oh, I had bangs like that, and then I shaved my head. You got that option there.
There
Have
is
that
that. I
option.
could do. I can't shave my head because I have big bumps.
Oh, you like big
So
bumps? You can't deny. Oh, okay. Anyway,
I knew that was coming the
yeah,
second
I
said it.
I know.
I knew
like
it was gonna
big-
happen.
like
I
big
knew it
bumps.
was gonna happen.
Yeah. So
Ah.
man,
but-
yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. As far as I know, and I had a list of Marvel movies that are coming out, and sound like, oh, okay. Now we had this conversation on the NAS. Of course, we have NAS SAS Nerds group, which is
Okay.
on Facebook. We had a conversation about this about the Black Widow actually being on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, so it is going to be on Disney Plus, but it is going to be Premier Access.
dude, you look like a surfer dude, man. You go, hey man, dude. Oh, look at that, the lockdown. Vance says that lockdown quarantine look is good. That's what the podcast. I wonder what the podcast wife was laughing about, and she was laughing about Vance's comment. Not Vince, Vance's comment. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm glad you're back, Vance. Oh, that's hilarious.
I get my hair cut like twice a year.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So
Eventually, the goatee will disappear for a while, and
kind of
it'll
goes through a
grow back.
transition. I know.
Yeah,
Has a life of its own.
it
But-
does.
No, but
Yeah, great.
we should do a show on the different Earths and stuff like that. I tell you, a person that we need probably on the show when we do that is Dale McCarty. He knows that backwards and forwards. Be good. Maybe we can have some of our viewers
that'd be
now and
cool.
then on the show.
Yeah.
I would love to have that.
Absolutely.
I know some of our viewers have really expertise in certain areas. I know Terrence is who is not here tonight, but I know Terrence is a comic book guru.
Yeah.
Terrence Jones, and then also too, wait a minute, what we got here?
Todd
Man.
says it's okay, Ricky. I get my hair from an aerosol can.
Oh my!
I will.
I'm gonna hear that from.
Now this is one thing that I have friends from college. Even years ago, I had friends from college. I would have phone calls.
Man.
I have a buddy named Moose. He and I were talking. This was probably 20 years ago,
Yeah,
and he had a receding hairline when we were in college,
yeah.
and then he was almost completely bald by the time he and I were talking. And he's like, "You still have a full head of hair, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, probably always will." And I really do. I have a lot of hair.
Yeah. You have very thin, long hair. It's wavy locks,
Yeah.
So you got that.
Yeah, and it gets
That boyish
Kinda
charm.
funky in the back.
Yes, you can do that. You can
has
go
its own life.
You can go totally reggae, man. You could totally you could pull it off with the beads and stuff, especially down here. You can do that.
Yeah.
You know,
My dad is like in his 80s and still
Yeah.
has a head of hair.
You could do that, and then
a
I
head
go,
of his own hair.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, you could do that, and you can come in, and I could raise you above the mountain, saying, "Here ye, Omara."
You are so not going to pick me up.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Vance,
Vance
says,
show Vance's comment there. Next
Vance.
L'Oreal commercial.
yes, exactly.
That is awesome. Thank you. Man, what a good group tonight. My goodness, you guys are like on fire. My goodness.
Fire.
You know what's funny to me is that I actually think this is one of our better shows, and we screwed up and down on the whole thing. So this is awesome.
And didn't have any real plan.
No, I mean, this. I'll let you read this.
Todd says, Ricky, you could totally pull off the Viking braided beard. Yeah, I have thought about braiding my beard.
Yeah.
I don't think my wife would go for it, but
yeah, that's.
I think
I think you could do that.
I think I've screwed up. I think I shaved this side a little too close.
Yeah.
So there's not quite enough of it.
Oh,
There's
over
a
there.
little too much on this
I
side.
think you're fine.
I'm gonna fix it.
But you could do that Nordman kind of thing, the whole Viking thing. I could see you doing that.
I could do that. And get eventually, have like the old man ponytail.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Do the whole thing.
Do the whole Benjamin Franklin look, huh?
Yeah. I want to grow it all out and then do like the World of Warcraft dwarf thing, have
that'd be awesome.
dual beard, dual braided beard, and
what's the name of it made me think about the what's I'm sorry, these comments are so distracting me. What did Todd just say? Let's put the Todd comments on there. You need the horn helmet too. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Yeah, what's the name? I can't remember the name of. It's the I call it Kung Fu Marvel. It's
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. And
yes,
that looks
Shang-Chi
really good.
and the Legends of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I'm pretty sure production's already finished.
Yeah.
Or at least shooting has finished.
Now, I'm not familiar with that, so can you give me a little background on that?
Master of Kung Fu, very specifically, it is Kung Fu.
Okay.
Because that was the thing in the 70s.
Yeah. So
we're not talking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're not talking, all the other martial arts you could have.
Yeah, exactly.
Traditionally, he is supposed to be the Kung Fu master.
Exactly.
So we'll see exactly what they do with that. I don't know if they're going to go with the Master of Kung Fu. But they are doing a predominantly Asian cast on that movie, which should be good. There is a good chance we're going to get a legit I've forgotten the bad guy. The bad guy from the second from the Iron Man movie. That wasn't really the bad guy.
Yeah, the Michael York was in that.
Yes.
My
brain is falling out.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of. I'm sure one of our
Mandarin. So there is a possibility we'll actually get a 10 Rings Mandarin, like an older kung fu-y kind of master guy with 10 magical rings.
Exactly.
So a more comic book accurate Mandarin, which could be fun. I hope they go there. It's possible they won't, but because Marvel likes to change everything.
Exactly.
They like changing everything. That's kind of like the whole they kind of made Iron Man a bad guy, the bad guy for creating Ultron, when in the comics it was really Ant-Man's doing, and all these different things. But Marvel likes changing stuff up. We'll see how they go. But I'm kind of excited about that one. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a more action movie. Think not funny Jackie Chan.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's going to be a Jackie Chan kind of humor kind of movie.
No, I hope not.
I think it'll be, I guess, more like a Bruce Lee kind of martial arts film. is my
And
expectation.
they might have some kind of a sidekick, side, almost like, oh, okay, Rojo Ghoul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably have a little more of a feel like that,
Yeah.
except with a Marvel tinge.
Yeah.
So it won't quite be as dark and broody. It'll be a little brighter and a little more colorful.
Yeah.
But definitely that kind of feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna. I have not gotten it clear as to where it's happening, as far as the events of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's going to happen here in the U.S. or if it's going to happen in an Asian country. I kind of have the feeling they're going to have this one in an Asian country, or predominantly in an Asian country.
Yeah.
Either that or it's going to be like a world hopping movie.
What do you think? Which one do you think it's going to be? A little bit of both?
I think probably it's going to be more of an Asian Asian location. I don't think it's going to be a U.S. movie. I could be wrong about that, but that is some of the things I've read. That's what I gathered. Now, it could just be that they produced it there.
Yeah.
Because they did do a lot of shooting overseas.
Gotcha.
But Marvel's been doing a lot of shooting overseas. For some reason, they seem to like the Slavic countries right now. For some reason.
Well, I mean, yeah, especially in the Falcon. Well, I mean, yeah, I can't even say that. In the Civil War, it was that way too.
Actually, Budapest. I know this is kind of a running gag for Marvel.
Yeah.
Hawkeye says to the Black Widow, you and I have a different memory of Budapest. But like the Batman did a lot of shooting in that same area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there must be some kind of major financial rebate kind of program over there that allows these film producers to produce there and do it cheaply or get some kind of kickback, because there's no reason for so many movies to be made there. Other than it looks really cool.
Well, I mean, Marvel uses a lot of, what's the name of the country that, Sokovia. Well, it's made up, but it's based off of, I think maybe Budapest or one of those Eastern
Bloc countries.
Countries, yes. So
they keep doing the Eastern Bloc country. I keep going, when's Doctor Doom going to show up? Because that's perfect.
Exactly.
That's a perfect setup for Doctor Doom. But
Yeah,
they
I
never
think
go there. I haven't gone there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the Fantastic Four, so maybe we'll get some Doctor Doom goodness in the. I was really hopeful. Okay, so I know we don't have a lot of show left, but maybe we can go there. I was really hopeful we got the Fantastic Four, that Feige could adjust everything just a little bit.
Yeah.
And get Doctor Doom to be the next big bad, the next Thanos.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It would be amazing. You
Yeah,
could
it would.
bring everybody in. There's plenty of Marvel stories where everybody had to come together to defeat Doctor Doom. You can bring the Fantastic Four in. You can bring the X-Men in. There's just all these connections. You could definitely make it happen.
I mean, it's a golden opportunity. It's a golden opportunity.
It is a golden opportunity.
You've got Disney owns Fox and Marvel, so it can happen. And so bringing those two together and having a common enemy like Doctor Doom, I think that would be awesome.
But they are pushing hard on time travel right now.
Yeah, they are.
And everybody says the next big bad, the next Thanos, is going to be Kang the Conqueror, because he's so tied into time travel. He's a Richards, meaning he's somehow related to Reed Richards, but he's originally from the 30th century. And he's been he was in Egypt as a pharaoh, and he's been all these bad guys throughout history, and the future, and now he's Kang the Conqueror. He's time hopping, and everybody says that's where they're going next.
Yeah, I think it has I don't know, it has a better sound, better ring to have Doctor Doom in it. I think that
I think
to me,
so,
I think
too.
this would be. I mean, yeah, they're focusing on the time travel. I understand Doctor Strange and all that, but I think somehow they can make it work. I mean,
Yeah.
but there's so much in the time travel. Of course, they're in the multiverse. They're doing all of that right now. So it'd be interesting how that all works out, especially with WandaVision. We talked about Wanda
Yeah.
and the whole thing with Doctor Strange coming up. So that'd be interesting to see what happens. But man, Doctor Doom, I think that needs to be explored because it was the way it was handled before was terrible. I mean, with the
Yeah.
originals, I mean, he didn't really have his due,
No.
and people, and he wasn't done well, and it didn't really. It didn't have an emphasis or heaviness or something,
Yeah, he
yeah.
didn't have that world conquering
Yeah.
feel to him ever in any
Yeah.
iteration previously.
Yeah.
And I think for Doctor Doom to be really effective,
Yeah.
he needs to be the kind of guy who can undermine the world
Exactly.
or take over
Yeah,
the world.
I agree. I agree.
I think they're kind of building up Zemo that way.
Yeah.
Zemo is a lot bigger villain than he seemed.
I do have a question for you because this is the podcast wife opinion. She's not very fond of the actor playing Zemo.
Okay.
I mean, well, I'm just curious. Do you have a thought about the actor playing Zemo, and who else would be a good substitute for him? I think because her point is that he doesn't come across as like a villain or a menace or the guy is kind of goofy, but
he is a little underwhelming,
yeah.
but I think Marvel's going for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
They wanted him to be the unassuming. Well, like, okay, I keep having this conversation in Facebook groups.
yeah.
They absolutely want us to feel sympathy for the bad guys.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And they absolutely want us to hate John Walker.
Well, Kara,
My hope is that they give John Walker a redemption arc by making us hate him so bad that later on he does something so heroic that we at least accept him again.
Well, the head of the Flag
And
Smashers, Kara. I mean, you start seeing a deeper emotion and appreciation for what she's doing. It's just, the means doesn't justify the ends, but
Yeah.
but you get a feel for her, and then all of a sudden you have compassion for her, and the same thing. And then of course everybody now, okay, well, John Walker is the focus of everyone's hatred right now. Not Zemo, not Kara, it's him.
And they've done this before.
Yeah.
It's like, they've demonized Iron Man for creating what became Ultron.
Yeah, exactly.
That the whole team hated on Tony Stark
Yeah.
for almost a whole movie.
Yeah.
And now we all love him again because we hated him for a while.
Well, even in the Civil War, to me, it was like
Civil War was the same way.
Same way.
They put Tony in a position where you would dislike Tony and his side.
Yeah.
But in the end, he would have a redemption arc and you'd like him again.
Exactly.
And I think that's where they're going with John Walker.
Yeah.
Hate him all you want, but by the end, you'll love him again.
Exactly.
I think that's where they're going. And I think Zemo is going to be the opposite. Oh, have sympathy for Zemo. Oh, by the way, isn't Zemo cute when he dances?
I know, yeah.
And then, he's so unassuming. He's nothing to worry about. And then at the end, you're going to find out how horrific a person he really is.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But as far as the actor, I don't know who I would replace him with. I think it is kind of nice that he's that he's so unassuming,
Yeah.
but so capable in what he does.
Yeah.
Like the moment when, okay, this is spoilers. The moment when he is crushing those vials,
Oh yeah.
the evil joy on his face every time he crushes a vial
Yeah.
was just one of those, oh, he is jacked up in the head.
Well, it made me think too. We were having this conversation the other night, and it was why did he? My thought you would think he would pick one up. You think he would keep one for himself for some reason.
That is a thing that a lot of people have said.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they would go there.
Yeah.
I am pleased that they have kept Zemo consistent.
Yeah.
He has one thing. He doesn't want superheroes.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. Well, that's
that is
true.
his
That's the
goal in
consistency
life.
there, yeah.
And
Exactly.
they went ahead and kept him consistent by having him break every vial that he could find
Yeah.
and not use one on himself.
Yeah. Exactly.
Todd says, when Zemo turns, the betrayal will be emotionally visceral for the fans. See, yes,
Yeah, I agree with
that's
that.
exactly it.
I agree.
I think that's where we're going. I think we're going to
Yeah.
see a role reversal at the last minute.
Yeah.
John Walker will become heroic. Now, it's possible John Walker is going to become heroic by dying a heroic death.
Yeah. That's where I'm thinking too.
I hope they don't.
No, because they have a whole story arc for him too. U.S. agent. They could go that direction too.
There's so many places they could take him in the future. He could become more anti-hero. Think, U.S. agent as Punisher kind of
exactly,
guy.
Yeah.
Steal the name that Steve Rogers used for a while. Call him Nomad.
Exactly.
Instead of U.S. agent. There's so many places you could take John Walker.
Yeah.
And the actor's great.
Yeah, I like the actor. Yeah.
And he's doing an amazing job. I mean, people hate him, but
Well, I mean, and the thing is, from the beginning, you kind of like him, like Marvel loves to do. You kind of see him, you're going, oh yeah, he's, and then all suddenly, boom.
Yeah. Well, and they've dripped on it every once in a while. They drip on it as, hey, I don't know if I can do this. Hey, I don't know if,
Yeah, Steve Rogers is a shadow over him. And
Exactly.
only that he struggles the whole time by not being superhuman.
Yeah.
He struggled the whole time that he cannot do the same thing that Steve did as a super soldier, and it becomes more evident when the Flag Smashers, they are also superhuman. So
Yes. And then, we have the one fight where he gets his tail handed back to him, and the quoted line is, they weren't even super soldiers.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you definitely see the flaws he has.
Yeah.
And then he has a great line too, that he knows there's problems.
Yeah.
Like, he's being told by his friend, hey, you were decorated for, all those amazing things we did in Afghanistan. And he says, yeah, we got awards for that, but the stuff we did there, not all of it was really good.
Yeah, exactly.
So he has it in him to know that where he's going is not quite where he should be going.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have the Steve Rogers in him to stop himself.
No.
So I am afraid they are going to give him a heroic death. But what I want them to do is give him a heroic return and turn him into kind of an anti-hero. I don't know.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think he's going to have a heroic death. I think that's what's going to happen. The ultimate redemption is giving his life, and I think that's what's going to happen. But
Probably.
I'm with you.
You were probably right.
But I would love to see them. I would love to see them explore him more, because I think he's a good actor, and I think he's playing it really well. So
Yep. And I think he could make a great cast character for a future Avengers, where we have a whole new, where we have a recast Avengers, where we get, you bring in Moon Knight, you bring in She-Hulk. You bring in, bring in him as Nomad or U.S. Agent or whatever you want to call him. Give him his own shield, a different shield.
Well, you can do that. I mean, you can totally do like what they did with Netflix with the Defenders. I mean,
The Defenders,
I mean, you had all these different quote unquote TV series or streaming series, and they all come together. And they could definitely do that. I mean, Marvel can do that, whether it's consistent or not. I mean, they can, how they are. They do what they want to do, but they do it well. That's the thing, though. They do it well, and so
they will
that's
make
okay.
it feel like it should have happened all along.
Yeah, exactly.
I sometimes wonder, now, does Marvel really have all this planned, or are they just really good at making things feel like they had it planned all along?
I don't know, man. I think a little bit of both.
Somebody in the back room goes, dude, if we do these 5 little things, we can say we had this planned all along.
That's awesome, man. I think that'd be awesome.
That's what Feige does in his spare time.
I bet he does. Well, man, I don't have much. I don't have anything else I really need to bring to the table.
I don't have anything else, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think next week we might even have like a focus on the show, but this was fun. This was kind of nice to just to do nothing,
Yeah.
something about nothing. So, and I think
exactly.
And
we really did go back to our roots,
Yeah, we did.
We completely blundered the beginning.
That's right.
We failed to go live in the right places.
That's right. I mean, this is the way the show used to be, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the audience, you guys were awesome. The comments, some of the information you had. I mean, it was great. It was. We love having conversations with the viewers. You guys are awesome. So and eventually I like to have some of our viewers on helping us out now and then. So
Vance said, yes, it was an awesome show, and I have missed you guys. We missed you too.
We
Vance.
missed you too, Vance. We missed you too. And also, too, it's another call out. We cannot find a good friend of ours, a regular viewer and a member of the SAS Nerds group, Lamont. If for some reason you know where he's at, try to reach out to him, let him know that we miss him.
The best we can come up with is we think he might have gotten a 30-day Facebook ban.
Yeah, and we hope
either that or he got fed up with Facebook and just left.
Hey, Rob, thank you. Thank you very much. You guys we appreciate you. I know it's pretty late where you're at, so we appreciate you catching us and participating. I'm really honored that we have people from, it's like 2:00 in the morning and over in Ireland and Scotland and New Zealand. And I mean, my wife talks about it. I'm thinking, I never thought we would have, people from all over. And it's real exciting to me. And I love talking with people from across the globe, and get to hear their perspective and stuff.
You remember when we used to have conversations about, we didn't have anybody listening?
I know. Isn't that something?
And now we got people from around the world.
And I love that. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But, 3:30ish for Vance.
Hey, Vance.
Man.
Where are you, Vance?
I
thought Vance was in Florida, was in Hawaii.
I didn't. I'm not for sure.
I have always thought Vance was from Hawaii. I don't know why.
You know why? I don't know. But thank you, Jason. Jason made a nice comment on there. But yeah, I really I'm grateful. Thank you very much for yes.
Vance says he is
from
in
Hawaii.
Okay, it's just earlier in the day than I thought it was there. Nice.
But yeah. So anyway, next week we're gonna come up with something. Show up. We'll hopefully get our stuff together. Maybe not. So anyway,
probably not.
Probably not. But anyway, yes, come back. Participate.
We'll see you next week. And, hey, Mike, are you going to be in your new location next week?
I will be remote. Okay, there's a new opportunity for us to mess up again.
This is a
So-
new opportunity for failure.
I have a situation with my job. So one week I am here at the original SAS studio, and then a week
Okay,
after
before you do that, hey,
Mhm.
Tiffany, put up Rob's comment just now. Rob is watching us from the future.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Rob is a time traveler.
He knows. We need to see if he can hook us up with, like, what's going on now, putting some bucks there, you know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
But yeah.
Sorry to distract. But yeah, you're going to be in your new remote location.
Yeah, so for a while it's going to be 1 week in the I call it the SAS Studios, and then remote another week, just so that way, consistently with my job now, there's some travel. So 1 week here, 1 week there, and so I have a setup at the remote location. So that will be an opportunity to see how things will go. So bear with us next week. But
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I'm a little scared myself. We'll see what happens. Well, we might even actually prepare and do something the night before and test it out.
That.
Imagine that. So anyway, so bear with us next week. And yes, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you for being on the show. And we'll open up some suggestions. I know we did it before, but we'll actually listen this time. Post something, some idea. We'll put a post up. Maybe Todd V can put up a post on the SAS Nerds group and say, hey guys, what would you suggest for us to do specifically on what kind of shows you want us to do, specifics, and try to be specific on it. So that way, we're trying not to be too general. We're trying to be, like, okay, this topic and this topic. And so anyway, so, anyhow, thank you.
Sounds
I don't
good.
know what. Yeah, sounds good. I think it's time to say good night
All right.
or good morning.
This has been the Something About Something show with your host, Mr. Mike Shilley.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Poe.
You and the effects are killing me, dude.
It's like a brand new toy.